Content is king. 5 reasons you need to be producing more content. Content is what makes the web go round. You'll hear this a lot in marketing circles, but that doesn't make it any less true. Think about it. The internet is nothing if not a web of content. It is writing, it is video, and it is sound. All of that is content. If you don't have content then, you can't possibly stand out and stay afloat. You'll be drowned out by the noise. And if it's not enough simply to have content, it needs to be content that has high volume and high value. You need lots of excellent content. Here's why. Brand awareness. Studies show that people will only usually buy on the 7th or 8th exposure to a brand. It's by this point that they recognize the brand and trust it well enough to consider investing money. If you post regular content to your site or to social media, then you create lots of opportunities for people to be exposed to your brand and your message. Each one of those builds up and creates a greater likelihood that they will consider buying from you. SEO. Content is important for SEO. This is something that is overlooked too often. While there are countless strategies for increasing the search traffic that comes to your site, targeting keywords, building links, etc., the single most important and effective strategy is to add lots of content to your site. This is how the biggest and most successful brands on the web succeed. If you have hundreds of new articles on your site every month, you create countless opportunities to win at the SERPs and to bring in long-tail traffic. Eventually, you will succeed through sheer force. Return customers. People will come back to your site regularly if you give them a good reason to do so. If you post the odd article every few months, then people will quickly forget about you. But if there are lots of fascinating new posts every single day, then people might start to read your site each morning, or at least several times a week. Think about the websites that you visit on a regular basis yourself. They are all likely to be sites that provide you with an incentive to keep coming back. Brand loyalty and trust. The other reason to keep posting content is to develop your relationship with your audience and to build trust. Trust is a strange thing in that it very largely comes from familiarity and exposure. Simply seeing more of you ensures that your audience knows you better, likes you more, and feels more comfortable buying from you. This is as simple as posting regularly. Direct sales. Finally, keep in mind that each post can generate direct revenue from ads, or even by selling your products. If you include a reference to your product and a link in each post, they will then generate profit. You are now in a situation where each post pays for itself, meaning that there is no reason not to keep writing more of them. How to use giveaways to boost your online sales. If you want to make more money, then you need to give more away for free. This sounds contradictory, right? Sure, I get that. But in fact, this is one of the truest principles of selling, and it's for very good reason. In this presentation, we're going to discuss why that is. A free taste. Too many sellers make the mistake of thinking that people will buy their products because they tell them to. But here's the thing. You're not a particularly objective source of information. You can write the most compelling and persuasive sales pitch in the universe, but at the end of the day, it will always be compromised because it came from you. Your audience knows that you're biased and you have a horse in this race. Think about it. If someone came up to you and told you that they had the best watch in the world, that was more objectively beautiful than any other watch, and would keep the time perfectly, would you buy from them? Chances are you'd assume they were making it up. But if they were to let you keep the watch for a week, and you found that it really did change the way people looked at you, you might consider buying it. In other words, the proof is in the pudding. There's nothing like trying a product or service for yourself. So if you really want to convince people to buy from you, Giving something away for free is the perfect way to demonstrate to them just how much value you're able to provide. Now they don't have to take your word for it. Now they can experience that value for themselves. This is a huge difference. Luring them in. The other reason that giving away something for free is powerful is that it helps you to draw more people in. This is why competitions are so popular, even when most people don't get anything. If you have something to give away for free, then you will instantly give people a reason to visit your website. That's what will draw them in. And then while they're there, you can use the opportunity to market other things to them. The best example of this, of course, is a lead magnet. This is a freebie that you give away in exchange for an email address. You use this to acquire email addresses, and then you sell to them. A sense of obligation. The other reason that freebies work so well is that they create goodwill. When you give something away for free, people will feel obligated to you. You did them a solid, and now they want to do the same thing back. In fact, studies suggest that we are driven by the desire to give something back that is twice the value of what we received, thereby paying off the social debt. This is why many store owners in the Middle East will begin their negotiations by offering you a nice cup of tea and giving your kids a free gift. Learn from them. 5 easy upgrades you can offer customers to maximize your profits. Selling online can be a challenge, and this is something that many business owners must wrestle with on a regular basis. If you can convince people to buy from you online, then you can potentially drive a steady stream of sales that will be nearly entirely automated. This allows you to earn a passive income and make money while you sleep and relax. Or it can give you the funds you need to funnel back into your business and scale at an unprecedented rate. But this shouldn't be the end goal. Selling once is impressive, but selling twice or selling more is even better. What you may not realize is that getting someone to buy from you is the hard part. The biggest barrier is opening the wallet and entering the details. If you get your visitor to that point, then you've been highly successful. But then why stop there? It will now be considerably easier to convince your audience to take the next step and buy again, so make sure you don't miss that opportunity. Here's how you can do just that by offering upgrades and upsells. Premium Edition. One option is to offer a premium edition or a special edition. People love buying the most high-quality version of something, and they hate knowing that there is a more premium option available. Think about it. If you just convince someone to buy a product for $50, why wouldn't they pay an extra $10 to then upgrade that to the ultimate edition? This works great for physical products, but it can also be very effective with digital products. Your ebook could come with a more attractive cover, extra pages, and supplementary information, for example. Support. Offering support is a great way to add value, especially if your product is an app or software solution. Even for information products, though, offering some kind of direct access to the author or experts can be huge. How about membership of an exclusive group on Facebook, for example? Second copy. If your product benefits from multiple items, then this is a great and very simple way to upsell. Buy 1 for $20 or 2 for $30. It's a no-brainer. Even for digital products, this can work well if you have DRM. Just offer the second download as a gift. Subscription. Likewise, if your product is something that benefits from recurring orders or ongoing support, then you can also offer subscriptions. And if you already offer subscriptions, then how about selling a longer subscription for even more money? Money off the next product. Finally, one of the oldest tricks in the book is to offer money off the next purchase. This is great because it secures the next sale before you even have something to offer. It helps to build loyalty and trust with your audience and gives the buyer flexibility in how they redeem their offer. It's like a loyalty point system. How to use webinars to boost online sales. Webinars are a powerful tool to create sales online, and they are often considered a key component in many sales funnels. A webinar is essentially a presentation that teaches your audience something. This can be a presentation in which you directly communicate with your audience and explain a topic, or show them how to do something. Common topics for webinars include discussions on how to make money online, discussions on how to use specific tools, or tips on how to build confidence. The real power of the webinar is that it increases engagement. People who like your content might read your blog posts, but this is a very passive activity that doesn't require any commitment on their part. However, a webinar requires your audience to arrive at a certain time and then to listen to a presentation that is ostensibly live. This makes them feel like they're discussing directly with you as a creator, and it requires them to invest their time and effort into hearing what you have to say. In short, it helps to take them from being a cold or warm lead to a very hot one, and it gives you the opportunity to push your product or service in a more convincing and powerful manner than you otherwise could. So that's the why. What about the how? The first step is to choose your webinar topic. Ideally, this should be something with a very clear value proposition and a very clear goal. That is to say that you should be quite specific in what you teach, a single skill or concept, and that said lesson should have direct applicability to the audience's lives. You want something that will demonstrably make their lives better and that will give people a good reason to show up. Next, you need to identify the right platform. This is what you will use to stream live, and there are pros and cons to each option. The two we recommend are GoToWebinar and EasyWebinar. While you can use tools like Zoom that are not explicitly intended for this use, they don't have as many features that are as directly relevant to what we're trying to do. Also important is to have slides prepared and a script. This way, you can ensure that your webinar runs smoothly and that you can provide genuine information. Think of this like a tester. People are going to use this experience to judge the products or services you are trying to sell. If they don't learn anything or it isn't useful, then they will assume that your products or services won't be good either. Don't let that happen. Of course, there is the option to simply play a prepared presentation. This isn't recommended, however, as it can look cheap if you get discovered. Ultimately, the best business models are the ones that involve genuinely new and exciting information, amazing value, and transparent honesty. This builds long-term customers and trust, and is by far the best way to build your business. 6 tweaks you can make to your site to boost sales. What makes the difference between a successful online product and an unsuccessful one? A lot of presentations will try to tell you there is a one secret trick or some key strategy, but the truth is that a successful sales page is the sum of its parts. Your success comes from countless small design decisions, aspects of your copywriting, your marketing, your audience, the pricing, and the advertising campaign. There is not one thing you can change, but rather thousands of things. Some of these things are very simply alterations you can make to your page itself. And while these might not turn you into an overnight sensation, they can certainly help you to improve your conversion rate and increase profits. So here are 6 tweaks to consider making right now. 1. Increase load times. A slow-loading site does a few things. First, it makes your site seem less reliable and less professional. This can make people less comfortable about buying from you. Secondly, it means your audience has to wait longer, which in turn means that they will very often leave before your page is done loading. Speeding up your site, which can be as simple as installing a new plugin, can thus help you make a lot more sales. 2. Change your font. The font on your site is a key factor that often goes overlooked, Not only does this contribute to the overall design of your site and the way it makes your audience feel, but it also determines how readable your content is. People don't like squinting. 3. Remove navigation elements. If you have a menu on your sales page, then you are inviting your audience to leave. Remove it. 4. Add a video. Video is underutilized when it comes to making sales. The goal of a good video is to help people understand the value proposition of your site and to understand what you're offering. You can even set this to autoplay. 5. Use a better image. One of the biggest challenges of trying to sell something online is that your audience can't hold the product in their hands. That means they can't feel the weight or the premium materials. Your goal is therefore to convey that through your sales page by choosing the right image. If your product listing currently has a small, grainy image of what you're selling, then you should consider changing that. 6. Offer a money-back guarantee. This is a simple line you can add to your sales pitch that makes all the difference. That's because it will help people to overcome any sense of uncertainty when buying from you. They will now know that if they don't like what they're buying, they can get their cash back, no questions asked. The thing to realize as the seller is that very few buyers ever ask for a refund. That means there is no reason not to use this strategy, and every reason that you should.